all the kind words. I was tearing up a little bit, and just so people know, I do cry sometimes. So move on, get over it. So I'm so excited. It feels like not that long ago when we were in here, and I want to say thank you to Andrew for opening up Bright Side Awards for us tonight. We started the campaign here, and we ended the last one, and I'm so excited to kick off here with all of you today, and I cannot thank you enough for being here. I'm excited. I really am. And so there are new faces in here. I know a lot of people do know my story, but the one story I haven't really told is a little bit about like how I grew up. I am an Iowa girl, grew up in Penora, Iowa, and I grew up in the public schools. So I've always loved our public schools. And I was stubborn. That's my mom and dad. My mom and dad right there. I was really stubborn and driven, and I was 16 when I graduated from high school, and I went straight into helping professions. So I think most people who know me know how much I care about mental health services, and I have my master's degree in counseling psychology, but I went on after that to get my master's in nursing and clinical nurse leadership so I could continue to grow our healthcare system, both for our minds and for our bodies. So I have some of my team here actually. I now am in, not at the bedside as a nurse anymore. I've been in healthcare leadership for the last 15 years, and we do performance improvement and work on financial operations, balancing our budget, saving money, learning how to build efficiencies so we can make sure that we can reinvest in our staff and grow services to meet the needs of the community. And it's not easy, is it, Dan? So I feel like I really am a perfect fit for this community, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the stories I'm hearing at the door. And it really has inspired me over the summer to decide to step up to run again. And it's because of the people taking time to talk with me, to make sure that I'm the right fit for this. And it feels confirmed that the needs of this community match the things that I either know about, care about, or will fight for at the Capitol.
Yeah.
And so everybody has brought up the ADA, and this is usually when I cry. Okay, I can do this right. It's just been a long journey. So, where's my daughter at? Oh, right in front of it. Okay. So, this is the little girl named Heather Sievers who turned me into a politician. This little girl has been through so much. So I still remember the day after a couple years when we finally got Rowan's diagnosis. And it took a long time, and people who have children who have special needs, you need that diagnosis to get services and get healthcare coverage. The ADA came in and provided those services and kickstart her when we were living in a camper at the Altoona Adventureland campground here in 2017, and we never left because the ADA and our public educators helped grow my daughter and give her a chance to beat a lot of barriers. I jump like that, but I fall down. I'm proud of her, and it is true. I actually quit my healthcare job to be down at the Capitol. That's why I was there all the time while I was applying to get a different job, because I wasn't going to miss this. I was not going to fight, but I was not going to stop fighting. But one of the things, I'm going to admit this, I wasn't planning on being in politics, nor was I planning on quitting my job and being down at the Capitol all the time. But it was necessary, and I will admit, I was naive. Because I thought that politics were supposed to be about adjusting bills, making reform to those bills, listening to the voice of the people, and Rowan, and your constituents. and voting the way the community is asking you to vote. And so we spent months down there. Everybody knows we were down there for months. We had reforms to those bills. And at the end, they threw the same bill back on the table. And I said this before, you do not make a mother mad. Is when I realized how much we are not being fiscally responsible. That bill that we fought so long to change was always going to pass. And I realized that after that time down at the Capitol. 1 million of our taxpayer dollars paid an out-of-state interest group to write that bill and bring it into our state. And I am telling you, that money could have really benefited a lot of children, a lot of our aging population here, our healthcare services, and maybe even building a new public service. So it's time for change. And so, like Heather said, I've been out at the doors. I haven't stopped. I've been in the community, and I've just been listening. I haven't been going to the doors saying, here's what I'm all about, listen to me, I'm your gal. I said, hey, I promised you I would stop back. I would check in and see how you are doing. How are things going? Do you want to talk for a little bit and share what you care about? And people have been talking and sharing and spending so much time with me this summer. It's been wonderful. And so I don't want to talk about the things I care about. You can look me up on my website. It's all on there. I want to talk to you about what I'm hearing from my community, the place that I'm trying to represent. Water came up. I'm not going to repeat what other people said. But I have been, because this has been coming up in my community, I've been down at Waterworks trying to figure out what they're going through. We have the largest nitrate system in the world, and we can't keep up. It's Iowa. I understand we're a farming area, but there's a problem here. And so at the doors, I've met people who have moved to Altoona from rural areas because they had cancer from environmental causes. Okay? I'm not going to presume to know exactly what those causes were, but I can infer it being in healthcare. And so I know that there's another person in this room who has experienced that same thing. And I honestly believe that there are simple things we can do while building our farming community and implementing reasonable and responsible regulations that are going to clean up our water and prevent cancer growth here. So public schools, of course. One thing I wanted to talk about, so I did lose my race by just above 1% in a very competitive race. And I never was focused on the win, focused on the process. Change takes time. But I'm so grateful for the opportunities that came out of that because I was elected onto the Heartland AEA board to serve. And I do want to let you know because we've been a little quiet. We went through a lot in the AEA, and so we've been quiet to make sure we can make it through a legislative session and try to get through these cuts. $32.5 million taken out of special education services and the system broken apart. In Heartland AEA alone, and I think it's important to start sharing the impacts, we are down 200 of our service providers, our OT, our physical therapists, our speech therapists, and some of you are here today. Is anybody in the AEA or educators, please raise your hand. Mental health. So this has been coming up at the doors like a lot. So there's a lot of families who have had children who have attempted suicide, who have been in and out of the hospital. And I have spent my life trying to grow mental health services everywhere I've lived. It's been something I've really cared about. There's a simple thing we could start with. It's going to take a long time to build up the services that we need. One thing we could do is ask our insurance companies to pay for observation care. So when you get an injury and you hurt your knee or your arm and they're going to keep you overnight just to make sure you're okay, Why don't we do that for mental health?
Yeah.
Let's
right.
pay for that. 700,000 children under the age of 18 in the last 12 months attempted or completed suicide. And if we don't start paying attention to this, it's going to be detrimental to our children's future and maybe not give them a future at all. So how about the economy after that one? So our economy, everyone continues to talk about property taxes. I continue to hear it at the doors. And so what was passed at the State House was a 2% cap. And I said, have you felt any change? And people said, no, I haven't felt a change at all. It's because these caps don't actually impact the average family. 63 cents was felt by a cap like that. But this is part of the reason I'm spending so much time down at the city council is because they're having to deal with, that is a big cap for city council and trying to manage our budget here. So we need to think differently about how we're gonna build this, and I do think we need to start with minimum wage. I know we cannot stay at $7.25 an hour, and I'm grateful to live here because in Altoona, they do not pay people $7.25 an hour. But a lot of people, that's what they're living off of, and they can't live this way. And so I've spent a lot of time touring and talking with small business owners because they're worried about increasing minimum wage. They're struggling too, right? And so we have to figure out how to incentivize our small businesses and give them the resources they need to be able to increase minimum wage incrementally over time. And we can do it together and build up our economy again in the state of Iowa. Done tucking up your ears because there's so many things I could say. And please stay after, ask me questions, get to know me if you don't know me super well yet. But there's a lot of things we can do, and I really do want to do politics differently. I don't want this to be so serious and filled with us versus them. I have spent a lot of time with people across party lines. I do not care what party you are. And there's a lot of people who don't know this, but I was registered as no party when I stepped to run for the Democrat Party. And I think it's important to understand that. It's true. And it's because I don't care about party. I care about doing the right thing. The Democrats at our state house have been doing the right thing. We just don't have enough balance of power to be able to do the change we need.
Yeah.
Last year, I was a first-time candidate, but this time, I'm not a new candidate anymore. So I'm coming for you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all. I hug a lot, so I might speak a couple more before people leave, but thank you. We have so much time to work on this campaign. Let me know what you care about. We'll work on it. And I can't wait to take that seat and continue to fight at the Capitol and hopefully bring our voice into the Capitol again. Thank you so much.